bull or bear. Found my old coin I started this with, and she does pop up a bear. Let's see what happens. Good morning, folks. What's up? This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful but chilly 55-degree Lauderdale by the Sea. Got a little swell out there this morning. I might actually get a little surfing in with the longboard, but a little too cool for me, and I'm not big into wetsuits. All right, we're not here to talk about the surf or the weather or anything else, but we are going to talk about a bunch of other things, including my interesting title, which I'm sure I'm going to get some comments on before people even, some comments, not from most of you smart folks, but from a few of the people out there that are just missing a few beans, are going to make comments without even reading or without even listening to the video. So a little pre-warning on that, and I'll explain my title to you in a few minutes here, as soon as we get going. Meanwhile, wow, what a beautiful day out there it is. All right, let me move into spot prices today. You know, not a lot going on. I mean, the reason I haven't done many videos is, I mean, how many videos can you listen to and can I repeat talking about really basically the same things over and over, which is like market manipulation. We're going to talk about that again today. I know, but you know, really, it's what drives the market that we're all following, which is primarily silver and the gold markets, and some of you with platinum, and I don't know how many people do palladium, maybe one person out there, but it has a lot to do with the prices. But I mean, talking about it on a daily basis just kind of gets old, and maybe that's just my excuse for not popping out as many videos. And gosh, remember when I started these videos, I did one every day, 5 days a week for almost a year or two. Never missed one. I was kind of proud of my accomplishment there. But after a while, you just kind of, you know, content, you know, you're kind of thinking of, well, I can't just repeat the same thing 5 days a week. But I'm going to do a couple change ups here too. I'm going to go back and start talking a little bit about politics and a little bit about this and that. Something I haven't done for a little while. And, you know, like, was it Napolitano ice cream? Is that how you pronounce it? Where you've got chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla. Well, for a little while there, I was just doing the chocolate, vanilla, whatever your favorite flavor is by itself, just talking about precious metals. But I'm going to mix it up a little bit, have some fun with the news, and have some fun with politics and all that crap. Meanwhile, not much to talk about since the last video. Silver's basically been sitting in that mid 22 range to $23. Platinum has been sitting at 900, just stagnant. Same with silver. Gold even to some degree. But you know, the interesting thing with gold is that, you know, we've held on to this $2,000 level quite well. I mean, we're at or close to our all-time highs, and we've been sitting there for a while. Again, not a lot to talk about. When you've seen markets like, what has it been, couple months that we've seen prices just kind of like sideways. I'm not quite sure what that's telling us, but a couple things I want to discuss. First, I'm going to talk about what the best premiums are, where to get your best deals at, what you should be paying, what you shouldn't be paying. Then I'm going to kind of get into some newsy stuff, political stuff that I haven't talked about in a little while, and a few other things, including Ted Butler's newest article, which has a lot to do with the title of this video. And meanwhile, it's, you know, just sideways, man. And that's going to shake out a lot of buyers. You know, when things are sideways, it's funny. When we have markets moving really fast up or down, traffic in our store gets, you know, quite a bit. We get a lot of people coming in buying, actually. And I know you're saying buying on the upside. Yeah, it's kind of funny how that works. You know, there's a certain segment of the public that waits for things to move up and then they jump in. I think it's the FOMO thing, fear of missing out. And then you've got the other folks that buy the dips, and that's really the smartest way to do it, in my opinion. Just buy the frickin' dips, especially in silver. So I don't even know where I was going to go with this whole conversation, buying the dips, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, you know, prices are just kind of sideways right now, and that's going to take the wind out of the sails, and it really has. I've seen sales for gold, silver, and platinum, retail sales now. And remember, this is not, you know, retail sales don't have anything to do with the market prices. You know, you and I buying silver and Wall Street, you know, when they're hyping up, buying up all the silver and everything like that, getting the retail folks to do it. Folks, price discovery is not going to be made by the retail folks. Price discovery is made by the crooks in COMEX. And if you've watched my videos for the last few years, you know exactly how this whole game works. Let me quickly move into prices so we can knock that out of the way. Man, I have not seen prices on metals this cheap. And by the way, you're probably saying, Brian, you own your own shop. Why you got SD Bullion up there? Well, SD Bullion seems to be one of the 800-pound gorillas out there. Now, they're not necessarily the cheapest, but they're consistent. They're a great company. And I know what you're saying, well, why are you calling competition a great company? Well, I'll tell you why. Because as a competitive person myself, who do you want to beat? Do you want to beat the losers or you want to beat the winners? I mean, that's a pretty simple explanation for why I've got SD Bullion's prices up here. I also sometimes put APMEX. I don't find them as competitive as they used to be. And also JM Bullion. I mean, JM Bullion, they may not be the cheapest out there, but they are certainly, you could consider them the 800-pound gorilla. All three of these companies, I'll beat their prices at commercial rare coins and precious metals. So all these prices I'm showing right here, I can beat them pretty hands down. But I really just wanted to talk about how cheap things are right now. SD Bullion has 1 ounce silver rounds as low as. Now, a lot of folks will, and again, they post that as low as price at $24.26, but they don't tell you until you click it that you got to buy 500 or more. Well, I can certainly beat the hell out of that price at $1.25 if you're buying more than 500 1 ounce round, and I can beat their 119 price to 20.99 price. In fact, what is their silver price they're showing right now? Let me close that. They're showing 23.02. Where am I at? 23.02 plus, give me 1 second. On small quantities, and we'll use small quantities. Again, I can beat their prices in all their quantities, but 1 ounce, I could do them for like, what, $1.80 over or something like that. And let's do the math. Ready? 23.01 plus $1.80.
The answer is $24.81.
So there you go. I can sell small quantities that they're getting $25.30 for $24.81. And the same thing applies to the other silver products out there that they have. Silver, let's just take a look. Silver, I don't see 10-ounce bars. Oh, there. Silver bars, 10-ounce bars. Silver 10-ounce bars, there you go. Same thing, $248. How much over is that? Let's just click this link and see if we can, there we go. It doesn't say as low as something over. Our top seller, let's see what they're getting for that. 23.20, 24.25. Man, they're over $2. I'm under $2 an ounce, even in small quantities. And again, I can beat the hell out of their big quantity price. So you know, one of the things I've noticed with SD and JM and the online, the guys that don't have brick and mortars and the guys that only do bullion, I have a sneaking suspicion that their revenues have fallen dramatically in the last year. You know, gold and silver, if I only sold gold and silver and didn't do anything else, I'd be broke by now. I really would. There's just no way you can pay the bills on that. And I suspect the same thing. Again, this is an assumption on my part, but I suspect, educated assumption, that SDJM and all these online resellers of precious metals to the retail industry are probably sucking wind right now, unless they do other things. You know, I do rare coins. I also do jewelry, artwork, antiques. I own a estate business that does all these type of different things as well. And rare coins, again, have been very hot. So I'm well diversified. But, you know, companies like SD, JM, now they may be, I don't know, but it seems like to me that their primary thing that they do is sell gold and silver products. Let's move over, and again, what am I saying by that? I'm just thinking that a lot of that's why the prices are higher right now. I don't think they're as competitive as they were. I mean, I've always been able to beat SDJM and APMEX and a lot of the other online sellers, but lately their prices are just, they're not being real competitive. And I think a good part of that is, again, you're not going to run sales and sell your product extremely cheap when there's just no sales out there to be had. And I won't say no sales, but the retail bullion market has slowed up substantially, okay? Kruger, let's talk about gold and stuff. I could get into all the other silver products, but if you're looking to buy silver, go to SDJM at Max, and whatever prices you find there, I will beat them. There's my advertising right there. That includes gold products as well, so I don't need to go into all that. Stay away from Silver Eagles still. I mean, I know a lot of folks out there just love their Silver Eagles, but man, they're just too much money. Even now, prices are as cheap as I've ever seen them. I can sell Silver Eagles a spot plus $475, and let's see where they're at right now on and let's see, 2301. So basically, wow, they're way higher on Silver Eagles. I don't know why. Give me 1 second here. 2301, and let's check my price real quick and see what I can sell them for. Give me kind of perspective, and you a perspective. Give me 1 second. 23.01 plus 4.75.
It's 27.76.
There you go. In small quantities, I can sell them for $27 and something cents, and $1,500 or more, I can still beat the pants off all these prices right here. But I'm really surprised too. Again, wow. My low quantity price still beats their $100 to $499 price, if that gives you any idea here. So I can beat all these prices, but they're not really been competitive. None of these companies are being extremely competitive. I've noticed that their prices across the board are much higher than they were, and I again lend this to the idea that that the sales aren't out there, you know, and I've seen it here in our retail brick and mortar store. We don't have an online store. Retail sales in Bullion have just slowed up dramatically, but no less. Think about this. If the people out there that believe that retail sales drive the silver and gold prices, they don't, by the way. Big derivative paper prices do. They have nothing to do with the real market, the organic market. But the few people out there that believe that retail sales, organic, sales drive, of real silver and gold is what drives the market. This is a perfect example. Retail sales of gold and silver just dropped off a cliff. All right. But the prices of gold and silver have not dropped off the cliff. In fact, they've just done what they have done for years and years, with or without the retail buyers, which is go up a little bit, especially gold, silver, go up, hit that $25 mark, and you get slammed down, despite huge retail buying or selling. Again, the physical markets, basically retail markets, have nothing to do with the gold and silver prices. So you suspect that with zero activity, not zero, I'm over-exaggerating, but you would suspect with the little activity that's happening in retail sales of gold, silver, and platinum, that prices would be down. I mean, that would be a natural thing. Oh man, nobody's buying silver bars. I mean, the retail public has just kind of stopped buying. What's happening out there? Well, it has nothing to do with capitulation. None of the silver buyers, I haven't seen anybody. Of all my buyers, I have only seen a few people sell. I mean, we've sold, I don't even know, tens of millions, tens and tens of millions of dollars worth of gold, silver, and platinum. The largest buyers, I've never seen a single one capitulate yet. The smaller buyers, I haven't seen any of them capitulate. So lower prices have nothing to do with capitulation or retail sales or physical bar sales. It has everything to do with criminal crimex, large commercial short positions in the derivative paper markets. Don't forget that. Meanwhile, if they're going to keep this price just fucking ridiculously low like this, and I know a lot of you are burnt out, a lot of you are bought out, a lot of you have been sitting here listening and saying, Brian, we've been hearing about this up in silver, it's going to go up for quite some time, and hasn't. It's not a matter of when, if, it's just a matter of when, and I believe, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit, that we're getting closer to that point. Meanwhile, if you're looking to buy gold, silver, and platinum in any quantities, we beat SDJM and APMEX Bullion and a lot of the other sellers out there as well. Plus, you get face-to-face conversation with us. You can come in, look us right in the eye, ask us whatever question you want. You can't do that with the online guys. And I've got a lot of employees here that a lot of my stackers have developed relationships with. So, a couple of my employees save things for. You can't get that online, folks. So I can't stress enough, if you're living in South Florida, or you can visit our store, come by and see us. We'll beat the online guys. And if you're looking to buy any kind of quantities of silver and gold, give us a call. We'll beat the online guys too, even though we don't have a website. We've got to do it the traditional forms, wires and phone conversations and that kind of stuff. Old school, all right? And if you happen to have a good local dealer in your area and you don't live near us, I can't stress enough how important it is to deal face-to-face with people when it comes to precious metals, especially people that are willing to come near SD's prices or match them or beat them even better. You should probably be dealing with them. Even if your local's a little higher than your online guys, you really should probably be dealing with your local guys, because you're going to have to want to sell these things at some point too. Better to sell them locally than to worry about shipping them in the mail or something like that. All right, I've got out of my advertising. I've told you that there's a lot of good deals. Oh, we didn't talk about gold. All right. Don't pay more than the prices that you see on SD, and actually I can sell you these things for less. As far as gold goes, American Eagles, let's see what they're getting for, there we go, 1 ounce gold Eagles. I was there before. And let's see here. Let me do a little math here. $2,147 subtract $2,033.
It's $114.
So basically, in their small quantities, they're selling a spot plus 114. I can beat that price as well by a couple bucks pretty easily. Eagle prices have come down. The gold prices, premiums on gold isn't that terrible. It was the premiums on silver that just went crazy for a while when retail sales were just off the hook. Again, big difference right now. Retail sales are not off the hook. So a lot of these companies, again, have raised their prices. What's the best deal out there? Well, it's not American Eagles. That's spot plus 114, spot plus 110. The best deal out there is Krugerrands, and I'm still just blown away that you can pick up Krugerrands cheaper than you can pick up gold bars right now. So Krugerrands are like around, let's see what they're getting for KRs. Give me 1 second here. Let me see if they get them up here. They probably do. There you go, South African Krugerrands. Let's see what they're getting. And $2,083 subtract $2,033.
It's $50.
Woohoo! As low as 50 bucks over. That shows you how cheap these things have gotten. I believe that's closer to $60, but I can beat the prices of SD, JM, and APMEX, and a lot of the online sellers for Krugerrands. But man, what a great deal. Krugerrands are actually the best deal in gold right now. There's none better. You're not going to get a better deal on bars, certainly not on Eagles, and definitely not on Maple Leafs. So KRs are the best deal out there right now. And like I said, folks, I can beat their prices and a lot of other prices as well. Okay, no, I didn't win the Lifetime Achievement Award. I'm handing one out today. Give me 1 second, take a sip of coffee. And who am I handing out the Lifetime Achievement Award for? And for what? Well, I'm handing out the Lifetime Achievement Award today for failure. And guess who that's going to? Well, it's pretty simple. It's going to the Federal Reserve. Ron Paul was right, and the Fed. We should have done it a long time ago. Folks, this is the Consumer Price Index for all. And why am I showing you this? This is why you want to own gold and silver. This is why you don't want to stuff dollars under the mattress. This is why you don't want treasuries or even those short-term dealers are offering at 5%. You know why? Because they're paying you back in crap deflated dollars, all right? Let's take a look at the history of the Federal Reserve here. And I've shown this chart many times, but I want to just kind of go into the short and skinny why you should own gold, silver, and platinum, and be diversified into other things as well, which I'm not qualified to talk about, all right? But I certainly wouldn't have all you guys put all your money in gold, silver, and platinum. You need to be diversified. Everyone should be. You just have to do it smart. And so here's what we got. We've got the track record of the Federal Reserve. This is, excuse me, the buying power of the U.S. dollar has declined since the Federal, pretty much right out of the gate. Look at the buying power. Bam, down. I mean, I'm sure some has to do with just coming off of World War II as well, but no excuse for that. There's no excuse that this went down like this. And then we've got a little cycle action upward up until World War II, and then it's just downhill from there, as you can see, 2000, 2010. I'm going to skinny up this chart a little bit. Let's go to the 5-year. I just want to show you how bad this is and then why you should be very comfortable owning your gold and silver versus dollar type products, you know what I mean, or products that are directly tied to the dollar. Excuse me. And that's why real estate's so high. Is, people are not going to stuff dollars in their mattress or sit on treasuries. But look at this. There's a 5-year chart. I mean, it's just a dismal failure. The Lifetime Achievement Failure Award does go to the Federal Reserve and the U.S. government that has supported it all these years, the Treasury, you name it. Let's take a look at the 10-year chart. Hold on, the 1-year chart. I'm going to go back a little bit quicker here. And here, you know what's interesting about this is you actually see some upward movement when you really hone in on this and zero in and focus in on the smaller timeline right here. Here's the 1 year. But, what is this, folks? What exactly is this bump right here? I'll tell you what this bump is. It's an election frickin' year, folks. That's exactly what you're seeing here. You're seeing the election year bump. Is it a real bump? Does this dollar really buy more during this? I'd bet you the data's fudge because you can't trust these lying bastards, and that's really what they are. They lie to us all the time, whether it's the Fed, whether it's the U.S. government, both parties, they all suck. But you've been lied to pretty much your whole life, folks, from Santa Claus to the dollar's buying more. So there you go. Election year is the only reason we see this little up leg right here. That is it. And the data's probably fudged on top of that. So this is why you don't mind owning gold and silver, all right? Don't get discouraged. There's one thing that you're never going to do is you're never going to wake up and hear your gold, silver, and platinum went bankrupt. You're never going to stuff gold, silver, and platinum under a mattress and find out that the currency, fiat currency that you normally use is worth more than the gold and silver. It's never, 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 never going to happen. Gold and silver, if you took this line and you flipped it upside down and it was up like that, that's your gold and silver chart. In fact, follow my cursor here. Here's the max. Gold being down here. Invert this chart, and that's the gold chart for you right there. And that should tell you a lot, man. That should make you very comfortable with owning gold and silver. Now, as far as when silver finally takes off, let's get into Ted Butler's article this week. Love it. Hope he doesn't mind me sharing this with you. It's not too much proprietary information, stuff that he's said over the years, but I think that Ted puts these newsletters out mostly now. You make money doing newsletters and you make money, doing that kind of thing, but I really believe this man is in it just to really change. He's sick of watching these manipulators do this. It's like watching a crime over and over and over, and the police do nothing about it, and the public doesn't really see it. That's exactly who Ted Butler is. He's the guy, like in that movie where he sees the crime happen. What was that movie with Alfred Hitchcock movie? Man, some of you have to remind me in the comment section, where he's looking out the window and nobody believes him, okay? That's Ted Butler, and it's true. There's been, Ted Butler's been pointing out the criminals to us for years. He's been pointing them out to the CFTC, to the government as well, and they just turn a blind eye to it. You know why? Because they're fucking criminals too. All right. Well, anyways, for a change, silver outperformed gold on a week that saw silver close slightly higher by 18 cents and lower by $11, and gold lower by $11. Although it must be said both metals are lower than they were over the past 2 months, silver's greater relative strength this week resulted in the silver gold price shrinking by more than 1 point to 88 over 1. Okay. Excuse me, a little congested there. Sip of coffee. This is still, of course, a shocking level of undervaluation for silver compared to gold. Even though this week's start, the ratio had widened out to more than 91 to 1, considering that there is a pronounced and deepening physical silver shortage, and yes, there is, folks. The first in history, I would imagine the silver and gold price ratio should be closer to 9 to 1. That would put silver prices around I know, ready? $225. Excuse me there. Ted believes, and I think Ted's absolutely right. I mean, Ted Butler is out of all the talking heads out there in gold, silver, not gold, but let's say silver, and all the talking heads in silver, Andrew McGuire, the Andrew McGuires, the Gattas, whoever you may listen to on YouTube, Ted Butler is without a doubt, and I'd debate anyone on this, the smartest, most intelligent person when it comes to how the silver market is manipulated, who does it, and how they do it, okay? He is. That's the bottom line. So let me just kind of repeat this. Considering that there's a deep and pronounced physical shortage of silver, the first in history, and he's absolutely right about this, I would imagine silver gold prices should be closer to 10 to 1, all right? and that puts silver around $225, hence my title. Now, for some of you folks out there that are going to say, oh, 220, and not some of you, there's very few actually. There's like maybe 1% of 1% of the comment people out there and people that say stuff are going to say, oh, you guys say they're just trying to pump people into silver. Bullshit. Nobody's trying to pump people into silver. I mean, of course, I'm here to do sales. Ted's here to do his newsletter, but Ted doesn't sell anything, all right? Ted doesn't put out anything but a newsletter, pretty much. It talks about this stuff. And he says that he can see 220, which kind of shocked me. I can see $150 silver, but having Ted say 225, a 10-to-1 ratio, kind of shocked me quite a bit. But again, I honestly believe, and I've been doing this for 40 years plus probably, I honestly believe that Ted Butler is actually the most intelligent person when it comes to understanding the silver market and the price discovery of silver. All right, let's go on here a little bit. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Again, proprietary. If you like Ted Butler's stuff, then you certainly subscribe. If you're a dealer, you should definitely subscribe to Ted Butler's site. Or if you're a YouTube talking head, you definitely need to subscribe. You'll be smarter than most people, trust me, by reading his stuff. And if you own a large amount of silver, you just find silver very interesting and want to know what's going on with it. If $30 a month is not, or what is it, $35 a month for Ted's subscription, if that's not too much, I'd highly advise you get it. You'll be smarter than 99% of the people, including the talking heads out there, when it comes to silver prices. Silver prices first hit $50 44 years ago, and again 13 years ago, 2012. Gold prices ran over $800 44 years ago to $1,900 13 years ago. So today's price for gold is 2.5 times its level of 44 years ago, and higher today than it was 13 years ago. Okay, silver, by contrast, is still more than 50% lower than its previous price highs. I know some may scoff at such a simple comparison, but there's more to it, namely all the reasons that come closest to explaining why silver prices are so low. As Ted has said, he's contended for nearly 40 years silver has been manipulated and suppressed in price on the COMEX paper exchange. The principal means of the COMEX silver price suppression has been the unusual and practically unprecedented concentrated short position of the four largest traders. While this concentrated short position is lower today by more than 22,000 contracts, which is 110 million ounces, than it was when Ted petitioned the CTFC in 2021, it is still the largest concentrated short position in real world terms of any other commodity. Let me repeat that. Why? Too, that's a question we need to all ask ourselves. Why? Because they get away with it. Silver is still the largest concentrated short position in real world terms of any other commodity. All right, there you go. And why? Silver's such a small market, they can do it. They've got away with it for decades, and they're still getting away with it. No, and for the CFTC to do something now, they'd have to admit that they were inept and or crooked, like the CME Group's COMEX Group. They'd have to admit they were crooks or they're stupid, one or the other, and I think they're both. That's why we're not seeing CFTC do anything. We're going to probably have to see the Justice Department, some politicians or something get in there, because the CFTC is worthless as, well, you fill in the blanks. Okay, let me go on here. Please consider this. We live in a time of exploding asset values, from everything including stock prices, high-tech stocks, to prices of cryptocurrencies and commodities like uranium. While this may qualify for the Captain Obvious Award of all time, of all the asset prices that have soared, there is a basic element common to all of them. There is no notable short positions, and certainly no concentrated short positions of any type. It has been the opposite, now, and Ted's absolutely right, which has been the opposite of silver for the past 40 years, where the concentrated short position has been almost consistently the largest of any commodity in real world terms of actual production. And Ted says, I'm going to kind of move along here, but I'm tired of the knee-jerk responses attempting to rationalize silver's unique and excessive concentrated short positions on the COMEX as somehow being normal and connected to legitimate hedging or some other nonsense. And folks, there's some people I consider fairly intelligent and smart that I think it's, when they don't, oh gosh, it sucks getting old. When you believe something and then all of a sudden you find out that it's not true. Instead of like looking into it, you vehemently defend it, okay? That's exactly what we got going on out there with a lot of these so-called experts in silver. Now, I believe they're experts. I believe a lot of these guys are really smart. But when it comes to manipulation, their bullshit responses, oh, it's normal hedging. And I don't know if they know it's not true, but they've obviously never done the research to find out if claiming that it's legitimate hedging. They've never done the research to really figure that out. All right, any commodity or asset having the scale of an excessive short position has existed in COMEX silver would see its price remain in the gutter, while the price of assets not subjected to excessive short selling would most likely soar. No need to overcomplicate things, and he's absolutely right. And Ted mentions here, and there's no doubt, there is continual proof of manipulation in the form of the weekly data, blah, blah, blah. It may make it sound like a bit of a joke when I declare that we still be commercial buying in each. And Ted's basically talking about the nuts and bolts, about reading these COT reports. And there's nobody smarter than reading these COT reports out there on silver than Ted Butler, okay? So, he says, if we don't, the tides won't flow, blah, blah, blah. Okay, here. I don't want to read his whole article. It is obvious, prearranged, collusive behavior of the commercials and the COMEX that allows silver manipulation to continue, okay? And if you want to read more, definitely subscribe to Ted Butler's newsletter. I just kind of want to read that to you. And I think Ted's right. I think we are looking at, a 10-to-1 ratio is not out of the realm. I mean, I think the natural, silver to gold ratio in the earth, in the ground, I believe is what, 15 to 1. I've heard different things, 17 to 1, 12 to 1, which, what I'm saying is that the amount of silver in the earth and on the earth that's still here, the amount of gold in the earth, on the earth, in hands, in the ground, whatever, if you added all that up and you did the ratio, I believe that geologically it's probably, 12 to 1 to 17 to 1. Again, I've seen different things. So if you've depleted your above ground resources on precious metals, and there's nothing really, I'm not talking about in ground, above ground, and I'm talking about available for sale. Now all of a sudden, if there's not much available for sale, I think 10 to 1 is very, very reasonable to look at. And I believe we're going to see it. I keep thinking we're going to see 125, 150. So it's surprising to me to see that a guy that is so much smarter than I, say 225, kind of shocked me a little bit. And that title should have shocked a lot of you guys as well. All right, I'm going to get into some newsy stuff here in a moment, just give some opinions here. 40,000 tons. China can trigger weaponized gold revaluation at any time. McGuire is absolutely probably right about that. Chinese have been accumulating gold for quite some time and getting rid of treasuries. Who the hell wants to own treasuries? You know what treasuries are? Treasuries are this chart right here. You buy a treasury, and even if they offer you 3 or 4% or whatever the heck they're offering you, they're still paying you back in deflated, devalued dollars, okay? China's smart enough to get that. A lot of countries are smart enough to get that, except some of the European countries, which aren't too bright. Well, European countries are bright. It's the people running them. It's like our country. The people running the country aren't too bright. So where are we going to hear from here? By the way, if gata.org, they mostly talk about gold. And I like to read Ted Butler for silver. I like to read GATA when it comes to gold. And also, they talk about confiscation, the basics, all this stuff. And they get it pretty much right. So if you should have, it's free too. You should have gata.org on your bookmark bar up here for sure. And read it once a week. China's gold imports surged to record high. Of course, we know this. China's middle class is protecting their wealth with gold and silver, and the Chinese government is encouraging that. Meanwhile, what is our government encouraging us to buy, and the European government? Bad debt, crap. Anyways, totally different mindset with the Chinese government and its people, and than we have here in the United States and Europe. Again, our country, this country is being run by morons and crooks, morons and or crooks. All right, there's a combination of the two, and a lot of European countries as well. The EU is absolutely full with a bunch of clueless morons and crooks as well. Will this be gold's year? I'm kind of thinking it should. Excuse me one second. Man, must be pollen or something, or dust. Got a little congested right out of nowhere. Sorry about that. UK to loan back on his looted crown jewels. Okay, UK. I mean that was the empire before the U.S. That's the prior empire, French and UK. They pretty much, and we've been looting now since we took over that role as being the chief policeman of the world. Pam and Ross, General Whitewashers Forums. That's something I've got to read there. I should have read that before I talked about it. And foreign central banks think twice on U.S. treasuries, as they should, as we were just talking about it. Why, if you're a country, why would you buy U.S. treasuries? Why? You're just getting paid in deflated currencies. You're getting paid, this is why, again, the Chinese, I think, are buying tons of gold, literally tons of gold, and a lot of other smart countries out there, including Russia. I know some folks are going to give me some shit on that, but, they're buying gold. Meanwhile, you've got your dumbasses, your clueless EU people and the clueless people in the United States that run our country and run the European Union, buying into the fiat system and just doubling down on their stupidity. Oh, I don't know. It's kind of weird when you look at China and you look at Russia and you're saying, God damn, they're doing the right thing financially to some degree, even though they've got issues with their government, for sure, and other issues, but financially, and then you look at our government, you look at the EU government, and you say, how come the competitive, the governments we're competing against to some degree, are doing so much better? Don't we have smart people? Anyways, I'm jumping down a rabbit hole there. But you get my point here. All right, let's jump into my quick assessment of politics and stuff. All right, I'm going to do this fairly quickly, and I'm just going to make some comments as I go. I like Zero Hedge, by the way. I don't read the Wall Street Journal anymore. A bunch of propagandist bullshit. Same with Washington Post. We know that. New York Times. None of the corporate media I read anymore. I don't trust a goddamn thing they say. And they're liars. They are. They've provenly lied to us over and over and over. And I'm not saying that you go to a site like this and you're going to find all truth, but they give us different viewpoints, and it gives us different different viewpoints, different writers, different thought processes that you won't find in corporate media. That's why I do like this site. Largest ever NATO exercise to rehearse. Remember what I was just saying about the stupidity, the pure, sheer stupidity of our government and the EU government. My God, we just got done with the Cold War where, some of you are old enough to remember duck and cover. For those that you don't, just type in duck and cover, okay? I remember, as a little kid, 8, 9, 10 years old, worrying about being blown up by a bomb, things you shouldn't worry about. We got over that, man. We eventually got over that. And then you've got this, got the new administration particularly. Now, I don't think Republicans are any better, but the Democrats really fucked this one up bad, all right? And it had to do with the bullshit premise of interference in the elections when we know exactly what happened with the elections. And they weren't legit. And I'm just going to say it. I didn't even vote for either one of the candidates in the last election. I'm a libertarian. I'm not going to vote against someone that I don't like and I don't trust. And that's the case with both of those candidates. But no less, I got to admit, the candidate that lost was cheated out of the election. And again, I've got no dog in that fight. I'm just saying it like it is. There's no doubt in my mind in my opinion, that's the case. Good. Army of these people right here heads to this place right here while EU farmers block cities. Absolutely wonderful. It's about time people start taking government back in their hands. I think the farmers in Europe have actually been taking their tractors and buying a bunch of fertilizer, which is really bullshit, a lot of bullshit, and spraying bullshit onto the steps of the government buildings and such. And that's actually what we need to do. We just need to take loads of bullshit from local farmers and start piling it into Washington, D.C. on their front steps. Let them walk through it, since they made us walk through it for the last 40 frickin' years. ECB, the problem with the ECB is run by a bunch of European criminals, a bunch of leftist, socialist, progressive morons, all right? I said it, I know. Commies to some degree, Marxists mostly, that don't understand communism and Marxists. That's who runs the EU, a bunch of freaking morons. And we've got them here too, trust me, folks, on both parties, the R party and the D party in this country. We've got morons on both sides. All right, that's kind of getting into, well, layoffs. We're starting to see more layoffs. Funny though, the dollar, yeah, look at this chart. Yeah, we're seeing more and more layoffs this year, but oh, look at the 1 year. All of a sudden the dollar's getting strong. It's an election year. This is the only reason you're going to see good news in the economy. Election year. It's not for real, folks. Just remember that. Future crazy, significant. I know. What are they? Again, what are the morons in our government, the war hawks, these fucking war hawks? They need to go, man. They need to be taken out like the garbage. They need to go. What's with these war hawks, all right? We don't need to be making war all over the country, all over the world. We need to be making peace. More money is made with peace than war. Now, war makes people a lot of money, but it makes the wrong people money. Wars increase the wealth of a country in a specific way, weapons, that kind of things, the people that benefit from wars. But as the most part, 99% of people in countries, whether it's Europe or the United States, we don't benefit from wars. We benefit from peace. And the lying mother effers that tell you otherwise, they need to go. They need to go. We need to get rid of them. One way or another. You take that for what it's worth. There's one that needs to go for sure. What an idiot. Now, yeah, there you go. That party is so screwed, and the people that have been running that party are so screwed. They used to be the anti-war party. Remember when they claimed, they never really have been. They always claimed to be the anti-war party. They don't even claim that anymore. They're like the pro-war party. That whole party is, again, both parties suck in my opinion, all right? And the goal of both parties is to get us fighting with each other, get you fighting with your neighbor. As long as you're fighting with your neighbor, your brother, your sister, someone that's like slightly different in their thoughts and the way things should be run. That's what they go after, folks. They get us to fight with each other. You know why? Because if we're fighting with each other, we're not paying attention that they got their hands up our asses and in our pockets, all right? As long as you're fighting with your neighbor, you're not looking at the fact that your own party or the other party is just fucking us all. Oh boy, F words for Monday. Sorry about that. I'm going to get in trouble on this one. Where else are we going from here? Attracting most new renters. I think if you take a look, the places that are attracting most new renters are the so-called red states. And again, as far as the red party, they suck too, man. Big fucking warmongers. They haven't done anything to change our lives, but you're kind of stuck with them at the moment to some degree until we get some real third parties in there and some real independents that can make a difference and tell us the truth. I ain't flying on one of them mother effers again. Boy, what an F day. I'm sorry about that, folks. It's just, I haven't done them in so long. I think this is just like my release, my F release for the day. That's just plain, that's what happens when you hire morons to engineer and build your stuff. This is what happens is you end up with this kind of stuff right here. And where else are we going from here? Oh my God. This guy, again, morons and criminals. Morons and criminals, that's exactly what we're looking at. Excuse me here. I feel like I got a bunch of dust. My congestion just kind of, not a cold or anything, I got all this dust or something here. It's just cleaning up a little bit. That probably explains it. Biden blackmail intensifies, and the stupid thing is the people in the red party, they're all well and fine with sending new weapons to both of these countries right here. They're fine with more death and destruction, all right? But they may not be fine with the border on one side and the other one's. This is just totally a game. They don't care about this country. They don't care about this country. They don't care about us or the border. They just care about staying in power. That's it, folks. And again, here's another good excuse. What the hell are we even doing in that region? Why? Why would we send our boys over there to go sit in some shithole in a war that's been going on for ages and ages, and a war that we actually started because we do that great? And one of the things that this country, not this country, I shouldn't confuse the two. This country's great. The people are great. You're all great. I'm great. You're all great. For the most part, the people are. There's no issue. All right. When it comes to the government, though, it's a whole different thing, man. It's not good. Okay, give me a second here. Let me kind of move over some things, and we're going to move along here. Give me 1 second. Alaska United Airlines return 7:30. Okay, I'm gonna just kind of move out of here and give me 1 second here, and going to go on to the next subject because I've got to calm down. I've got to take a sip of coffee and calm down here. I said I was going to do a little politics. There you go. And it just led me into the F world. All right. Let me talk about last week's video here real quick. And I want to answer, one of the things I always like to do is respond to comments in the comments section. And I've enjoyed it for years, and I know a lot of you out there too. I've developed some friendships, not even met some of you, but I feel like you're friends of mine, and talked to quite a few of you. And some of you I met here in the store as well, but I always like to respond to comments, so it's just my thing. All right, let's sort by, let's see here, newest first. And of course, I always go to I do the newest first, and I go to the bottom page. Go figure. Good to see you, Linda Compton. Hope everything's well. Good Bex are. Precious metals ruined my life. Okay. I'm going to have to, me as well. Precious metals are a dark, deep black hole that sucks wealth and opportunity into it, but more importantly, sucks the one commodity that can never be replaced, time. Wow. Let me kind of digest that. What am I looking at here? Dark. I think what this person is actually looking at personally is obsessive compulsive behavior, that they got involved. I suspect they've gotten involved with other things as well. Forgive me lots of this and that for saying that, but you kind of put it out there, and I'm just kind of responding that, if you spent that much time with precious metals, that you considered that it sucked your wealth and opportunity into it, you've got some serious issues going on there. You need to relax, stop being so obsessive and compulsive about things. And watching a couple videos a day, maybe at most, on gold and silver, or spending a little bit of money on gold and silver is fine. Spending your whole day researching, looking into it, and dumping all your money into gold and silver, yeah, I would say that would definitely be a time suck and a money suck. That wouldn't be too smart. So if you're doing that, no frickin' wonder. Silverliner hits it perfectly, and good to see you commenting, Silverliner. One of my older viewers out here and commenters, not older in age-wise, but been with me for a while. Precious metals are kind of like insurance. You don't need it until you need it. And again, folks, we're also going to have our day when we're going to see precious metals much higher. Tinfoil Ninja, precious metal is not an investment until it is. And then a couple other comments out there. Sounds like you have life management problems. Wow, boy. You should educate, and then maybe one can buy low and sell high. Cannabis ruined my life first. Okay. I love you guys. You guys are great. Oh my God, that's funny. Sorry. Oh gosh, you got me. Welcome back. Thank you, Celeste. Appreciate that. Missed all you guys as well. Strong stacker. I just got to get, I just have to. I've been doing these videos so long, and I know I've taken a break here for quite some time, and my videos have been a lot more sporadic and spread out. But I'm just got to redefine myself and redefine what these videos are, and kind of, maintain what I'm doing. But that's just kind of it is. I got to figure out where I'm going with these videos, because I certainly don't do it for the money. I mean, as far as the monetization, I think Marcelo does. He's my editor. He doesn't have much to edit, beginning and pretty much it. But I let him, take the money on monetizing some of the videos that we put out. I'm pretty much wait until the video's out, and then after that I'll monetize it. But I hate to make those guys rich too at the YT group, a bunch of jerks they are. But I do it because I enjoy doing this, and when I stopped kind of enjoying it a little bit there for a while, when it got to be like a grind, I was doing it 5 days a week. That's kind of why I cut it down to doing it less than 5 days a week. But you know what I really enjoy most about it, again, is you folks. When someone comes in the store and says, I've been watching your videos for a long time, and I get quite a bit of that, it really makes me smile, and it makes me happy, and it makes me want to do more videos. Okay, anyways, let me move on. Another rabbit hole. Things must be slow. The small city out there wouldn't even give me a spot for an AG. Okay, it is slow, man. I'm telling you, a lot of these companies that do only precious metals, I'm wondering how they're making it. They've got to be cutting down on hours or cutting down on expenses or something. Because if this continues any much longer, you may start to see some of these larger bullion, again, assumption on my part, You may start to see some of these online bullion companies, maybe not the large ones, but you may start seeing some go down. And folks, be really careful if you're not dealing with a large super mega corporation who will probably fulfill your order before they do close, because there are a lot of smaller competitive players out there online, but I don't know how good their financial strength is. And don't forget about Hans Tolving. Hans Tolving was the first largest online bullion seller, online. And Hans took out, and everyone thought he was a great guy in the industry, outside the industry. I think he just got to a place that he couldn't handle or did something wrong, but $30 million he took customers' monies, man. So, and other dealers as well. Dirty dog, yeah, I know. Today is that word day, and man, I am a dirty dog today. Sorry about that. Thanks for commenting. Silverliner, one more thing. Silver and gold at good price, but good advice and a smile is priceless. That's true, man. This is why I'm always saying is, if you can't do business with us, and you do happen to find a good local dealer, there's so much, that's such an asset. I can't even tell you, how good it is to have someone local that you can deal with rather than buying online. That applies to everything. It's guns, I'd rather buy from a local person, a brick and mortar, any day than buy online. And there's nothing casting dispersions on the online guys, but I like to feel, touch, and actually look a salesperson in the eye and develop a relationship with them where you walk out, you smile, and you say, hey man, thanks for your help. If you ever need anything, call me at my place. You know what I'm talking about. Welcome back. Thank you, sir. I think the younger crowd realize the Pokemon cards won't be worth crap. Yeah, it's true. Hopefully true. Everyone's got one. Clint Eastwood, that's my man. Down 14 US dollars next. Not quite sure what you're talking about, gold or silver. If you're talking about gold, you might have nailed that one. Japanese, Mr. Japanese. Hager the Holder, thumbs up to you as well. Tinfoil Ninja. Inflation plays a role in higher prices for everything but silver. Yeah, I know. Again, silver is just so freaking manipulated. It's just such a crooked marketplace, but that is going to end at some point. It's going to blow up in their faces. If I may add, physical silver plays a crucial part in the survival of our civilization. That's true. This is where, a lot of people are realizing that, kind of like uranium, it has its uses. Uranium, you don't wear it or anything else. Uranium is actually one of those probably metals, or is uranium metal? I think it is. It only has one use. It's like oil, pretty much. Oil has lots of uses, but silver has so many different uses, from an investment to in industry. Silver is used in silver is used in every electronic device in the world. Silver solder. They don't use lead solders anymore. They use silver. Even though it's a small amount of silver solder, it constantly gets used and thrown away. So I 100% agree with you. Philip Stanton, what's up, man? How you doing? Your uncle is a wonderful guy, and boy, I had a great time working with you guys, Coin Collections. And a lot of you folks don't know I do Coin Collections as well. I have to catch you in Baltimore. You sure? I'll be there. I should be in Baltimore in March for sure. Oh yeah, Ted Ruxpin knows this and Ted Ruxpin knows that. I think you're talking about Ted Butler. Look at this guy. I just love people that offer nothing but insults. Mo, I'm sorry. Find another channel. Cooper Bones. I don't even have time to respond to stupid shit like that. I'm sorry. I'm addicted to those who unlove proof and mint sets, especially if they have Eisenhower dollars. It's nothing weird about that, Copper Bones. But if you love proof and mint sets, man, I'm your man. I'm your Huckleberry. I got so many of them. If you live locally, I could give you prices on them that are just so damn cheap. Eisenhower's too. I got buckets of those things. But if I can help you, let me know. If not, keep being a weirdo, man. That's what this... The weirdos are the ones that act like everybody else and want to be like everybody else. Those are the weirdos. The big question is, can they screw you longer than you can hold on to your stack? Nope, they can't. I believe that, it went off the hook in 2011, 2008, and they did nothing to fix the silver market or how crooked it was. They did nothing to fix it. It's even more broke now than it ever has been. And when the broke works into the market going up dramatically because they screwed it so badly, I think we're going to see some, I'm thinking 125, 150. Now I'm hearing Ted Butler, the smartest guy in silver, is talking about 2.25. I mean, I'm just kind of blown away. And from his lips to God's ears, there you go. And it's going to happen. Not a matter if, it's a matter of when. I can tell where you're going. You don't need to realize it's going nowhere. Where it's going, you don't need to read the article, it's going nowhere. Oh, bullshit. Here's another one of those idiots. You don't need to read the article, it's going nowhere. Provides no content, no reason why. I mean, I respect people's opinions. You have an opinion on something, explain why you have that opinion, not just nonsense like morons like this. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it, Russell. You made a moron comment. Maybe you're not a moron, but this comment sure was. But you can't beat the shininess of gold, that's for sure, Jeff. Silver is a better bargain, I think. I really do. I think silver is going to be one of those deals where the the folks that have stood behind it for so long, the folks that understand what's going on are going to be paid off handsomely at some point with silver. I have no doubt in my mind, none whatsoever. Larry Dickman says, and again, opinion, I respect opinion. I like opinions. I just don't like people making stupid-ass comments without backing them up. Larry says, I have money waiting to buy then. Larry believes that there's going to be $20, silver be 20 and gold be 1,800. And that's completely possible. It really is. We've seen it happen already once. And Larry is going to step in big. And who wouldn't step in big if we happen to see those numbers? But I don't think we're going to see those numbers really for any length of time. And if we do see it, it's going to be because everything else collapsed real quickly. And when everything collapses, that crooked gold silver COMEX market will collapse as well. But you won't be able to buy gold and silver at that price. You might be able to buy an ETF though. I talked to you about that as well at one time. Maybe I'll do a video on that. Do you know about ancient hallmarks? To some degree, yeah, I do a little bit, but give me a call. Give me a call. Maybe I can help you out. Hello from Rainy Cold, California. Thank you so much for a Happy New Year, Brian. Thanks for interesting. Thank you. Appreciate it. Keep it real. Appreciate all. And listen, I can say this to all of you. Thank you so much, all of you out there. Happy New Year's to everyone. A prosperous, healthy New Year's. And I appreciate all the interesting and informative comments that you guys leave here. And when I meet you in the store, and all the comments that you guys have. And I want all of you to keep it real as well, and I appreciate every one of you brothers and sisters out there. Hey, thanks for watching. Michael Matthews, a quick sip to you. Here, a cup of coffee. And hey, thanks for watching that video, folks. Well, this is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins. I am on Twitter. Actually, my Twitter following it's kind of growing, sliding a tiny bit. I'm up 1 or 2. Woohoo! I don't really go out here as much as I should, but if you guys started asking me questions out here, I would certainly answer them even more consistently than I do on the comments on YouTube. But you can catch me out here as Brian Kuzmar, Commercial Rare Coins. You can also, we haven't updated this in a while, forgive me for that, but I have been updating my stuff to Rumble for a couple reasons. If I happen to get kicked off this format, you never know. I'll be there, or at least I can archive stuff there as well. And I do like that format. It's definitely a free speech format. Well, that's it, folks. This is Brian Kuzmar saying, not me saying, this is Timothy Leary. Think for yourself and question authority. I think if I had to have one quote in my whole life in these times, this would be it. And pass this quote along as well, folks. And that's it. Thanks for watching. This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals. If you're looking to buy gold, silver, and platinum in any quantities, give us a call at our brick and mortar store. We advertise to beat APMEX, JM, SD Bullion, and a lot of the other online sellers. And we're here. You can meet us face to face, get a good smile, look us right in the eye, and ask us any question you want. Well, that's it, folks. Appreciate you watching. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.